Hello everybody, this is Gunhead70, and if you've been to my channel you'll notice that I've got quite a few videos up now. Well, I wouldn't say quite a few, but most of them are on customs. And so this video I decided that I'm going to do an actual review, and I wanted to do a review on it's my favorite bad guy mobile suit. I just really like the design and the way it looks and kind of the way it functions. But this is the A-Law, or the GNX3 A-Laws type. They made a few different versions of this one, but this one to me is the most I would say the most basic design and the most simplest of the different versions. And guess we'll start off with colors. That's where we'll start off with. Now I painted this model kit quite a while ago, maybe a couple of years ago. And the colors that I used is a sunrise red pearl for obviously all the red parts, and a light gray. And the sunrise red pearl is a Model Master color, and the light gray is I believe it was a Tamiya color from their lacquer paint line. Both colors are lacquers. That lacquer paint is the only paint that I use. I don't use enamels or anything like that. So if you're interested in a color that I've done on something, 99.9% of the time it's going to be a lacquer. I just prefer them. I feel that they're easier to work with. They're a little more forgiving when you make mistakes and whatnot. But so those are the two main colors. And then on the joints I used I believe it was German gray, and some of the smaller details are a metallic gray. So we'll get into articulation. Articulation is, I think it's really good. You know, the arms, yeah, you get a 90, which is about common with most kits. Arms will rotate 360. The shoulder has this, it kind of pivots, although this front piece here kind of gets in the way. But there is some movement front and back, and then up and down. Not a whole lot, but I don't really think that it needs it. The waist does rotate, and it will go 360 degrees. Of course, some of the stuff on the side skirts gets in the way, but it does rotate 360 degrees. Legs, once again, side skirts kind of get in the way, so that's about as far forward as the leg will go. And then you pretty much just get a little bit better than a 90 when you bend the back. So basic poses are not a problem. You just won't be able to pull off any kneeling shots or anything really outstanding. And the legs go out about that far. It's a ball joint in that hip socket, so you don't get a lot of movement there. And then on the feet, this little flap foot guard here moves up and down, and then the foot goes back that far, goes forward that far, quite a bit. It's pretty good, and it'll go side to side. Obviously the hands do have some movement. They'll rotate, get a little wiggle out of them. The head doesn't have a lot of movement, and that's because of the high collar that goes around the edge. So front to back movement is almost not there, and side to side movement is non-existent. It just doesn't move. It's kind of just locked in there, and it doesn't want to move anywhere. But even so, I still think it's a really good kit. I did do some panel lining on it, as you can see. Not a lot, just a little bit here and there, and you know, painted up some of the smaller details here and there. But like I said before, I really like this kit. I think that for a grunt mobile suit, it's the most ornate and the most unique. It's just got a lot going for it. You know, it's hard to miss this one. You know, a lot of times with the different types of Gundams, either from Universal Century or the Seed line, the grunt suits start to look the same as the lead Gundams. They just look like slightly changed variations, but this one is really, really unique. I mean, you know, you're not going to mistake. I'm trying to think, if you've seen Gundam Seed, in a lot of fights, sometimes it was hard to determine who was fighting who, because they all had massive backpacks, and they all had some of them had similar colors, and the heads all looked the same. Not with this guy. He does not look like any other mobile suit. Well, of course the flags don't look like any other mobile suit either, but he's just very, very unique. And of course he's got a thruster back there, or a ass thruster as everybody likes to call it. I think it's kind of funny. But yeah, so he does have the ability to store his weapon on the side, as you can see right here, and it just unclips from the side and pops out. Get it to pop it out there, and it just slides in the hand, and then there's a little notch. If I can get my big paws out of the way, there's a little notch in the forearm there that the gun just kind of slots into, and it really doesn't need it, but it's nice to have it there, and it just kind of slots in there, and then he can hold it a little bit better. The gun also has a handle that moves back and forth, at least it should. Oh, maybe, oh, there it goes. You got to pull it down, and then it'll go either way. Oops. Okay, you sit over there. It'll swing back and forth either way once you pull it down, and then to lock it in place, you push it back up, and then it doesn't move. And we'll put the gun back on. Get back on there. Yeah, I won't worry about it. I'll keep it off. In fact, I'll take the whole thing off because it's getting in the way. Anyway, so he does have one other weapon besides, obviously, the shield, and the shield does come off, and you can put it on either side. Yep, fits on either arm. His other weapon is the GN Lance, which this weapon was also on the, I believe the ESF type came with it too. I think that's the one, but it slides in and out. You know, it slides out, and there's a little handle back here that pops out, and then it turns into a gun. Or you put the handle down and you push it in, and it's just a lance. But it's a really cool weapon. It's very unique. It's like the it's like the shot lance for the Crossbone Gundam, you know. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So anyway, so like I said before, I think it's a really cool kit. Lots of great detail. Some of these side parts can kind of get in the way, and you know, they interfere with the movement, but I think it's alright. You can still get him into some pretty cool poses, and I'm quite happy with it. I'm quite happy with the way the kit is designed. I don't really have any complaints about it. So that's it for this review. Please feel free to leave a comment or any other type of responses. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.